Hi, Ron. My name is Lixia Yao. I'm the founder and CEO at Polygon Health Analytics. I'm also a longtime SAPA-GP volunteer, part of the planning committee for this annual conference.
Yes, good.
Could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me, by the way. My name is Ron Kim. Formerly, I was the CTO of Merck, the Chief Technology Officer. I was with Merck for 5 years. I had a 30-year technology career before that in different industries, consulting, private equity, energy. And I just retired from Merck on December 31st of 2025. This was a very long planned retirement. I had planned it for a while, but I am now an independent consultant part-time. And I work with private equity-backed companies and venture capital companies, some in the pharma space, but really in all spaces. And I do that a couple of days a week. Yeah.
Great. And given your expertise in AI, on behalf of our audience, I'm wondering, we hear AI every day now. And can you share with us what do you see are the real-world impact of AI and what is hype in the current situation?
Yeah, I was able to talk about that a little bit in the keynote. I think in short, I would say there's probably three things that come to mind. One is the term AI and now even agentic is being used all over the place. It's hard to find any software that does not call itself AI. So we must know some of it is hype. So that's point number one, is be aware of that. The second thing to distinguish between the hype and the reality is there's a couple of markers I look for. Is if technology is being used to really transform a process using semi-autonomous or kind of autonomous feeling decision-making, maybe leveraging a large language model or something else, that falls more into this is a real impact of AI. If it's just old-style automation or people taking code and calling it an agent or calling it AI, but it's really doing nothing different than computer code has done over the past 30, 40 years, maybe automating a process. I can create a PDF file automatically. That's not really AI. That's just computer automation that's existed forever. Yeah. So what I would tell the audience is just be aware that the term is being used so much that you have to distinguish between, is this real AI or not? And again, that's what I look for as transforming a process, has an LLM or autonomous aspect to it. So that's the things I look for.
Yeah, that's great. And the second question, I see you have being the technology leader across multiple industries, and Merck was your last job. I'm curious, when you look at different industries, what you see specifically for life science or pharmaceutical industry to adopt AI?
Yeah, there's a few things that come to mind. One is the need, how to make technology decisions is very different now than it was before AI. So I'll give an example. Technology people, or just companies in general, when they invest in a new technology, it used to be that technology had to be around for 2 or 3. They say, well, we're going to make an investment in this technology, but we hope it's around for 2 or 3 years. It'll be around a long time, so it's a good investment. Especially in the pharmaceutical space, because things are changing so quickly. I think the decision process has to be different, and people call it disposable technology, meaning we may invest in a technology for clinical discovery. Let's say there's a great AI platform for clinical discovery. It might not be around for 2 or 3 years. Maybe in 9 months somebody buys it or replaces it.
It evolves so fast.
Yes, but I think you have to bake that into your calculus or your equation that says we know this is going to happen, but we're still going to make an investment, because if we just wait around for technologies that will be here 2 or 3 years in this environment, you'll never do anything. It will be like analysis paralysis, right? So I think in pharma, it's important to have that mindset, and that's a shift, because the finance organization, the procurement organization will say, wait a minute, you're making an investment and the software might be gone in less than a year, it might be outdated or that's going to be a shift. So it's these human factors are, you could argue, the most important in kind of what's a successful way to make the journey in AI. It's not just the technology.
And how about the near future? Let's say in next 1, 3, 5 years, what's gonna to be the most impactful application of AI in healthcare or life science?
5 years and 3 years, that's an eternity in this world. So, but I will say, I wouldn't say I'm the expert. I'm a computer scientist. I'm not a scientist like most of our audience. But I have seen two areas where there's been a lot of advancement the past 6 or 9 months. One is clinical discovery, which has always been a focus of AI, but I've seen tools and platforms that have the past, less than a year have advanced so much that even though I'm used to quick pace of changes, when I saw them, I said, wow, I can't believe how far these have advanced. And there's a number of tools and platforms out there that are taking, for example, all the preclinical steps you do in a lab and just putting that on a computer. So it's much faster, it's easier to do, it's less dependent on physical devices. And we have all the data and the models to do that. So that's a huge one. The other one I've seen just gain a lot of momentum is just around clinical trial site optimization.
Okay, on the operational.
Yes, on the operational side. So making a site high performance, making sure that the trial is successful, it's the right site, it's the right demographic, things like that. That's I've seen multiple vendors make a great use case of that for agentic technology. So they will use real agents, not fake agents, but real agents to become part of the clinical ops team and help with things like data management and evaluation of results and things like that. And it's just a great use case for that. So I think I would anticipate the next year the clinical trial ops optimization as well as clinical discovery, target identification, they're going to continue to make big leaps and bounds. It feels like I consult with, again, private equity firms and venture capital firms today. It feels like there's more investment going into those two areas from what I've seen than any other area. Those two areas are very hot. Yeah.
I think we are all looking forward to that day, so we can help patients much faster.
Yes. Yeah.
And is this your first experience with SAPA-GP, and how was it? Can you share, how we did and what can we do better?
Yes, SAPA-GP. This is I've been engaged with SAPA various branches over the past year. SAPA-GP, this is my first. I think the audience and the agenda have been outstanding. The attention and planning I was involved in before coming today, I thought was wonderful. So it's hard to think about what you can do better. I would say just get the word out to more people because it's really valuable. And all these events, the most important thing is the human networking.
Yes.
Again, I go back to the human factor is more important than the AI, but just the conversations I've seen and I've had here, just 5 minutes in the hallway or at the table, those are the most enduring benefits, I think, more than my presentation or my slides or anything like that. So I just think getting more of the word out, building the membership, getting more participation, I think that's great. But I certainly couldn't think of any negatives for the kind. It's been a wonderful experience, and I've learned a lot, even in the times that I'm not speaking. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Ron.
Appreciate it.
On behalf of the SAPA-GP community.
I'm happy to help. Yeah, thank you.